thank you all for being here today. Hello, everyone. Thank you all for being here today. I won't take up too much of your time, but I am glad that I have the opportunity to present the research and analysis that will allow Nelson Surgical Consulting to grow into the future. Presentation I'm about to present is titled New Horizons. Through fresh ideas. This presentation is going to lay out a strategic marketing and financial plan that will assist Nelson Surgical Consulting in expanding into other markets, at the same time keeping a watchful eye on the bottom line. The end result is expansion. So that's where it all begins. In order to reach that goal, there are three vital steps that need to be taken before we can implement any proposed expansion. Identify viable markets, increasing exposure, and acquiring capital. Currently, the company has exhausted its market share in the Phoenix, Arizona area. That being said, it will be necessary to evaluate other potential markets for continued growth of the company. Two proposed expansion markets that we will focus on are Tampa and Nashville. The first hurdle we come to is, do these cities have a stable infrastructure? Let's take a look at Tampa. As you can see, Tampa has the necessary surgical services infrastructure for it to be considered a viable candidate. Not only does Tampa host a nationally ranked medical school and hospital trauma center, but it also has surgical services. The top 5 surgical services companies in the nation own or operate facilities in the market. Nashville has many of the same qualities as Tampa. In fact, 3 of the top 5 surgical services companies have headquarters located in Nashville. Moreover, these companies own or operate 36 facilities in the market. After examining both of these cities, the infrastructure will support any proposed expansion. Next, we have to tackle increasing the company's exposure. Consultancy firms approach marketing and exposure quite differently, because they do not necessarily market to the general public or consumers like the majority of businesses. The concentration leads towards creating relationships with professionals in the field. Attending association conferences or events is pivotal to bringing awareness to the company and building relationships with industry professionals from various markets. There are several associations that hold medical and specifically surgical related events throughout the year. AMA, ASCA, the ASA. In addition to attending association events, social media is the easiest means of creating exposure for Nelson Surgical Consulting. It not only grants access to millions of people around the world, but also allows the company to do so with little to no impact on the budget. Utilizing this means of advertisement has a trickle-down effect. You not only bring awareness to the individuals viewing the company profiles, but those individuals tend to spread information they view on social media via word of mouth. Moreover, social media websites such as Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn are valuable tools that we cannot afford to overlook. The last step we must undertake is acquiring capital. Obtaining investment capital or financing is absolutely vital in order to fund any proposed expansion. Nelson Surgical Consulting will incur various immediate costs involved with expansion into new markets, such as potential increase in payable hours of employees, association fees, costs of printed informational materials, and travel expenditures. Without the necessary capital to support these additional expenses, it will not be feasible to initiate an expansion into other markets. To obtain the monetary resources necessary for expansion, it will require a concerted effort in networking with professionals within the medical industry. Utilizing association conferences such as the American Medical Association events will grant valuable access to medical professionals possibly looking to diversify their career ambitions. Another means of raising capital is for Nelson Surgical Consulting could seek to obtain its own financing through a lender, but it will be necessary to build a good rapport with a reputable financial institution. This relationship will assist in obtaining financing for any future endeavors. Also, when investigating financial options, it is necessary to perform due diligence in regards to current interest rates and financing terms prior to engaging in financial discussions. Gathering data from several financial institutions is necessary to receive the best possible terms. There are several benefits and risks followed with the proposed expansion into new markets, but the benefits certainly outweigh the risks. Some of the biggest benefits come by way of increased revenues, broader brand awareness, and industry credibility. However, no undertaking occurs without risk, and the most serious risks associated with expanding are overhead costs, oversight, and lack of viable investors. All of these risks can be minimized by cutting frivolous costs, employing one consultant per new territory, and utilizing background checking services to vet potential investors. Although there are risks involved with expanding, the Nashville and Tampa markets have the surgical services infrastructure to support the proposed expansion. Moreover, these markets offer little competition from other surgical services consultant firms. Going forward, Nelson Surgical Services LLC should follow the plan this presentation sets forth, garnering exposure through association conferences and social media will provide the company with some necessary recognition as they transition into new areas. Furthermore, pursuing potential investors to provide capital or obtaining financing from financial institutions can be achieved by utilizing information gathered in this presentation. Following the recommended steps above will allow Nelson Surgical Consulting to grow and reach new horizons. Thank you all for joining me.